Okay, so today is Sunday. It is time for week 4's check-ins. We are 4 weeks into the lean mass method, and there are definitely some changes happening. Once again, strength is improving. I think the weight has dropped, but we're going to see exactly what that looks like now when we do the check-ins first thing this morning. Because today is an active rest day, I am going to be implementing some extra cardio. Okay. Now, the importance of doing that on an active rest day is to prioritize burning fat. Now, that is going to go hand in hand with my carb cycling meal plan. Okay, so when on my low days, I decrease the carbs slightly and I push up the calories. Now, I'm not going to lie, today, I just don't feel like it. Okay, I was woken up at 4:30 this morning because my dog needed to go for a pee, so I got up at 4:30. Now, when I was up this morning, I had this mental battle that I was going through, right? My first choice, well, I had two choices. The first choice was I could go back to sleep, right? What would this mean? I go back to sleep and I sleep for another hour and a half because I wake up at 6 o'clock every morning, sometimes earlier, it depends with how my body clock works. But if I sleep past 6, obviously I won't because my alarm will go off. If I wake up earlier, then that's perfect, then I'll do some extra work and I'll just do my morning routine earlier than usual. Now, I was tired this morning, right? So the first choice could have been, okay, I'm going to go back to sleep. What's going to happen? I'm just going to have to wake up in an hour and a half again. And usually what happens, if I wake up early and I sleep for another hour, hour and a half, I start a new sleep cycle. Then I'll wake up and I'll feel super groggy, super tired, just not in the mood at all. And that will set up my entire day. So for the rest of the day, I'll be tired, I'll be sluggish, and I just won't be in the best mood. Okay? Or my second option, which is a bit more of the uncomfortable option, I stay awake and I start working earlier. Now, when I'm doing this in my head, I'm like, oh, the most comfortable situation, which is just going back to sleep, I'm super tired, is not going to be the best one in the long term. Okay? The better option would be to fight through this uncomfortable situation, right? Fight through it for 10, 15 minutes until I wake up, I've got my cup of coffee in, and then the beautiful part about it is I get a benefit from it. I get extra work done on a Sunday, because I work every single day of the week. I can get some extra work done, okay? That means I can finish off working a little bit earlier, then I can relax for the rest of the Sunday before I go ahead and I do my planning for the week ahead, because I always do my planning on a Sunday to make sure that I start off the week good. But now, as I'm going through this battle, I'm like, damn, this temptation is so good, this temptation is so easy. Then I stop myself in my tracks, and I go, and I literally say this out loud. And this is basically like a calling and pointing system, okay? Or pointing and calling system, rather. So I look at the situation, I'm like, okay, I've got the two options. One, I'm going to be uncomfortable for a little bit of time, but I'm going to get a benefit out of it, okay? Two, is I take the comfort route and then I'll wake up an hour and a half later and then my entire day is messed up. So let me try and relate this to you in a different way, okay? Let's say you're following a meal plan, right? And your ultimate goal is to drop 10, 20 pounds, whatever it is. Now you're coming closer to that depletion phase. And now you're stuck with this choice. You've got this temptation. You've driven past a McDonald's and you see there's a nice McDonald's there and you've got this like craving, right? That's the cue, you're hungry. Now the craving is that you see this McDonald's, like you feel like McDonald's, right? Before you go to that McDonald's and you fall off plan, literally stop yourself in your tracks and say this out loud. I've got two options. The first option is I go off plan and I get that McDonald's. What is going to happen? Okay, I'm going to have satisfaction for about 5 minutes, and that's literally my taste buds. What's going to happen after that? I'm going to feel like shit, my digestion isn't going to be good, and I'm going to be taking 2 steps back because I'm pushing my calories up and I'm not sticking to the plan. And ultimately, I'm not building that discipline that I've set out to build to be able to resist temptations and build a resilient mindset. Okay? Now that is what you're going to tell yourself. Now you're aware of the situation. And then here's the second option. I'm going to fight this temptation for 5 minutes of satisfaction and stick to my meal plan and take a foot forward, okay, in the right direction, coming closer and closer to my goal. yes, I'm going to not have that 5 minutes of sensation, but the rest of the day I'm going to be feeling good, my digestion is going to be good, and I'm going to be moving close to that goal. Yes, it's going to suck in that very moment. Of course it is. It's uncomfortable to fight that temptation. But that is what builds discipline. That is what builds resilience. And once you pass that and you get home and it gets past your mind, you're going to be so proud of yourself for being able to stick to the plan and following through. Right? So always ask yourself, and then ask yourself, which is more important to you? Is it going to be the 5 minutes of satisfaction because of your taste buds, or is it going to be the long-term satisfaction taking you to that goal? That is how I fight these battles, and I get them often. I'm normal, right? Like, it's not about, like, the most successful people out there, they have temptations, right? They have days where they wake up and they've got no motivation to stick to a plan. But it's the discipline that they've built, it's the mindset that they've built that's allowed them to push through those difficult, hard times. So that is what I struggled with this morning, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to push through, I'm going to do that extra work, and now I'm sitting here, like, I've done that work, I feel good, I feel proud of myself. So this morning, I don't really feel like going to do my faster cardio, right? My additional faster cardio, my active rest day. And that's simply because I'm a little bit bored of taking the same route, taking the same way that I always go, or going to the gym. So I've decided, in order for me to stay consistent, I'm going to change things up again. I'm going to go choose a new route. So I'm deciding that this morning, I'm going to go into the mountains and I'm going to go do a hike there. Me, my dog, and my girlfriend. That's going to give me more enthusiasm to go do my active recovery day, my active rest day, to get those extra steps in. Where now, I don't have that feeling of like, shit, I really don't feel like doing this, but I've got that feeling of, oh cool, this is exciting, this is something new that I haven't done, it's going to be such cool sceneries, and that's gotten me super, super excited for that. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I'll show you guys exactly what that looks like, how that hike is. I've never done it before, so that's going to be pretty damn cool. So there's another topic I want to cover, right? This week, I've been asked on 3 different occasions, or rather not asked, I've been told on 3 different occasions that either it was on a strategy call that I have with guys that want to join the Lean Mass Method, and I've onboarded a few of them, and I've got another guy in particular who's a business owner and he's going to kill it. I'm super excited, super stoked. But I've had people also DM me talking about Ozempic. Again, I promise you, I get messages like this. It's either PED usage or it's Ozempic. What do you think about Anavar? Or what do you think about Ozempic? And then I always go to asking them, well, is everything else locked in? For those of you guys that follow me on Instagram, I talk about this often because I get these questions asked very, very often. And I want you to think about this analogy, right? Or this saying, rather, this phrase. You know that phrase that goes, if you give a man a fish, he will eat for a day. If you teach a man how to fish, he will eat for the rest of his life. Now that is the exact same thing when it comes to even thinking about using performance-enhancing drugs. You want to ask yourself, Ozempic, right? Yeah, it's going to make you lose that weight, it's going to make you drop it, but as soon as you stop using that, because you cannot do it for the rest of your life, there are side effects. What's going to happen? You're going to gain that weight is going to go up. So what you want to do is you want to focus on building the systems. Rather have that mindset of going like, I want to become this person, right? I want to do what this person does. I want to adopt the habits that are going to allow me to continue making progress sustainably for the rest of my life. Okay? And Ozempic, if you want to take the easy way out, then I'm sorry, you're wasting your time. Not only are like performance enhancing things, they're not really going to work if you don't have your systems locked in. If you're still eating like shit, if you're still not training properly, if you don't have the right systems, the right habits, the right mindset in place, do not expect to see this amazing result in a short space of time. And that's the problem. A lot of people are like short-sighted in that sense. They just think about like, okay, I got 8 weeks. I want to go to summer. I want to go have a party, and I just want to drop that weight. And then afterwards, just fall straight back into those bad habits. Rather be that person that wants to be taught how to fish. So then you can do it for the rest of your life, no problem whatsoever. There's no such thing as a quick fix. There's no such thing as easy, quick money. Okay? And that's just a point I wanted to make out as well, because that's happened now during the week. Now, let's see what else. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about some changes that I'm thinking about implementing, right? And I actually did implement this week as well, because I'm not 100% as happy as with the progress that I'm showing. And that is, on my active recovery days, like today, I will go do an extended fast. Okay, so before I've dropped any food, I will most probably drop some food today, depending on what the check-ins show. But before I do so, I have decided that I'm going to be pushing my meals further away, right? So on those active recovery days, instead of having my breakfast around 10 o'clock, I'll have it around 12 or 1 p.m. Why am I doing this? Because now I'm in a fasted state for longer, okay? When you're in that fasted state, your body primarily uses the fat in your body as a fuel source. Now, it is very important to have the right supplementation protocols in place so that muscle wastage doesn't happen when you are in that fasted state and you are doing that fasted cardio, okay? Because that is where a lot of people tend to go wrong. They don't have the right protocols in place and they just go into this crazy fast. They do all of this cardio and they end up losing muscle tissue in the process. So that is definitely a new change that I'm going to be implementing for the next phases coming on, and that's going to be exciting. I'm excited to see what today's check-ins are showing, and I think I'm gonna crank it up a notch. Now, I've been telling you guys that I don't want to get super shredded, and I don't want to get super shredded. I still don't want to get like ridiculously competition shredded, but you know what? I've got clients now in the lean mass method who are going into depletion phase. And we talk every single week. I just got off a call with one of my clients, CJ, elite clients. He's absolutely killed it. I'll pop up a transformation picture here so you guys can see. But he came to me and he told me, because he's busy, right? He's working a corporate job. He's also working on the weekends just to make some extra money. And he's killing it. He's an absolute animal. But he's told me, because of this, there's been a little bit of a difficulty with him being able to spend quality time with his family, right? So what we've done for that is we've done a complete restructure. So he used to train in the evening. So literally wake up, go train, wake up, go to work, and then train, and then he'd finish at the gym at around 8 p.m. because that's peak time when he goes at around 5. So he's spending 3 hours in the gym. Now, you don't want that, right? You want to be able to live a balanced lifestyle. You're not a bodybuilder. And even if you were, you can just structure things in a way better manner. So what we've done with that is we've completely moved things around, okay? We've shifted things in a way where he can, now we're going to do training in the morning. We've implemented the 5-4-5 method. Now, this method in particular is a method that I use with a lot of my clients. And that's setting specific goals, that's having a morning routine in place and getting the priorities done. That has helped so many of my clients move forward, not only in their fitness, but in their business, because they are developing those habits that do not just drive your physique changes, but they also drive you in life, whether it be relationships. And that's exactly what we've done here. Now with CJ, we are prioritizing to fix those relationships with his family so he can have more time with his family. This week coming, it's going to be the first week of that implementation, and I've also put him in that depletion phase. But I'm going a bit off topic here. What I'm trying to get at is I am going to do exactly what my clients do. So I'm cranking it up a bit. I want to see a little bit more progress quicker. So we're going to be doing some better manipulations with this plan, so I can drop that and I can move into that depletion phase. Because I want to be on that same level as my clients. I want to do the same thing as they do. I don't want to just preach it. I've been through it, right? I've done the competing, I've done the depletions, but why not do it now? Why not push myself? I like to put myself in these positions, in these uncomfortable positions, because again, it's building discipline, it's making me stronger. And for those of you that want to build discipline, discipline literally builds discipline. I promise you, if you stick to a meal plan for 8, 16 weeks, right, and you stay on top of that meal plan, you will be so disciplined, especially if you're going through a depletion phase. If you go through a depletion phase, which is a little section, you guys can check the lean mass method. I've literally put it on one of my playlists explaining exactly how the lean mass method works, how you get the priming phase and you move into a short depletion phase. If you stick to that depletion phase and you don't go and cheat on with your meals and you really show up, I promise you, you will come out the other side. You will come out of the other side of that depletion phase a complete new person. You would have built so much strength, so much discipline, so much resilience. It's going to be unbelievable, and that will show in every other aspect of life. The reason why I've been able to stay so disciplined, why I've built such discipline, is by actually doing the acts that make me feel uncomfortable, that are difficult. And that is the whole point of it all. That is one of the biggest reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing. Yes, I want a good physique. That is the cherry on top. But it's more so that I can become strong. I can become that man that I want to become, that person that I aspire to be. And that is what it's all about. But guys, let's see what these check-ins are doing, and then I'm going to show you exactly how I manipulate the plan moving forward. It's going to be a super exciting next couple of weeks. I'm glad that you guys are joining and following along, and I truly hope that you are actually implementing the things that I'm providing, because guys, I'm giving you a lot of the source. Okay. Obviously, with my elite clients, I do everything for them. I create their meal plans. I create their training plans. It's all based on their specific schedule, so they don't have to worry about it. They don't have to stress about it. All they need to do is show up, and they have, and that's why they continue to see progress every single week. But guys, let's see what these check-ins are doing, and I'll see you on the computer for the manipulations that are about to happen. Let's go. Okay, let's see this morning's weight. 100.7. So I have lost about a kilo, so that's good. So this morning's fasted cardio, decided to change things up. Going in the bush, in the mountain. Check that out, absolutely insane. All right, guys, now we are in my dashboard. Let's see what the progress is looking like today. So as you guys can see, I did my fasted check-ins and I dropped some weight. I dropped about a kilo. So I went from, okay, so let's actually look at the visuals first. So the lighting is slightly different once again, but that's not the worst. The worst today was slightly overcast, but it's not looking too shabby. There's a little bit more definition. Something that is going to promote this as well is because I shaved. So you'll see the difference there. Say there's a little bit of definition coming out, but nothing too major. And for that specific reason, I am going to be implementing some changes today. Something that's going to push a little bit more forward. I'm going to take you guys exactly through what I'm going to do with regards to that. I'm happy. Okay, remember, I don't want the weight to drop so much, but I think, well, I don't think, I've told you guys already, I'm going to crank it up a notch. I want to join a lot of my clients in the lean mass method who are currently going through depletion. Because I don't want to be one of those coaches that doesn't practice what they preach, right? I want to go through that journey, and not only that, I enjoy it. Yes, it's difficult. Yes, it's tough. It gets uncomfortable. But that's the beauty of it, right? Going through that uncomfort is going to build strength, discipline, and resilience, and that is what it's all about. And the cherry on top is I'm going to have a pretty killer physique for the summer coming up. And you do not have to go through a priming phase just for summer. Remember that priming phase and the depletion phase is literally just to set you up for a clean, lean bulk to pack on lean tissue super, super quickly. Okay, so that's the visual look. Nothing too major. I'd say in the next 2 weeks, we'll see a little bit of an increase with regards to progress and improvement. But let us take a look at what I'm going to be changing. Okay, actually, let's see the biometrics. Let's go to the progress. We're going to go to the biometrics here. As you can see, started at 224, did a bit of a drop, went back up, and now I've dropped even lower than before like that. So you'll see within the next 3 months or so, well, I'm going to do this is going to be about a 12-week process, this entire priming phase. So the most important thing is do not get discouraged if it goes up.
or if it goes down and up and down and up, as long as that line is going down like this. So from this point to this point, it might go up a little bit, and then it will drop. It might go up a little bit, and then it's going to drop again. Okay, as long as you're implementing the correct changes. So I'm super happy. I'm sitting at 220 pounds now. So that's a two pound drop. It's not the biggest drop, obviously, in these past 4 weeks, simply because it hasn't been my priority, right? It has been more my priority getting back into the gym, like doing those movements, and now we can really focus on dropping that fat, dropping that water. Another thing that which might influence this is, obviously, I've just dropped my full arm day, which you guys can watch on YouTube as well, explaining how you can get gigantic, massive arms and literally steal that entire workout. But it's also because I had my cheat meal, right? And for my cheat meal, I had pizza. So when you eat pizza and carbs like that, what happens is you hold onto a lot more water because of the sodium and because of the carb increase. Okay, so that's what it's looking like. Excited to see what next week brings, but now we're going to implement some changes. So let's go to the training program itself. Let's actually go to the calendar. So what I'm going to do here, as you guys know, I've got my normal faster walk. Then I'll do my additional walk. Like today, I went to go do a hike in the mountains. So that was pretty damn fun. That was cool. It was a lot more exciting, right? I wasn't really looking forward to doing the cardio, but after doing it, after changing it up, changing the environment, I had energy and a drive, and it actually gave me a good reason to go out. I got to take the dog and my girlfriend on a good walk. You know, it was good. So here's what we're going to do. It's going to be exciting. I am going to be training legs again, but not in the way that you think. So I'm not going to be doing any like leg movements. My back still gets aggravated quite a bit. But what I did find was this week when I do one of my active rest days, I went to go do the rolling and I went to go do the stretching and the sauna session, which I'm doing twice per week because that's enough for me. I did find that I got on an assault bike. Never went too crazy. I was just chilling, kind of seeing it out, and I didn't feel that much discomfort to my back because of the movement of how my legs are going. If I lift my legs up straight like a leg raiser, that's when that sciatic nerve really starts to get pinched by that herniated disc, and that shoots down my leg. But my back is progressing. Like, I'm happy. Within the next 4 months, if I can set out, I'm really happy with the training that I'm doing. Getting great pumps, I'm getting good muscle contractions, and it's actually helping me focus a lot more on that mind-muscle connection. Because I have a tendency, I love to lift heavy, because specifically in my upper body, I'm very strong in that aspect. I've got overpowering shoulders, I've got an overpowering chest when it comes to strength. So I like to push heavy, right? This has literally forced me to focus more on machine work, as well as really, really isolating the muscles and feeling those deep, deep contractions, which is actually all you need when it comes to building muscle. Unless you are going through the optimal phase, you pick on some decent size. But you can get away with doing 8 to 12 reps and then 12 to 15 reps. Once again, that's completely depending on what phase you're in. I'm not going to do any changes with the actual training structure. I'm not bored of it. I'm not sick of it. And I'm enjoying the structure that I'm currently following. I am, however, going to be implementing a cycle. Okay. I want to try, I'm not going to do a high intensity interval session just yet. That will be coming closer to the depletion phase, but I'm going to do about 5 minutes after every workout session on a high resistance. I'm going to start off with a lower resistance just to see if it aggravates my back or not. But then I'm going to slowly move up. Every single session, I'm going to try and push myself a little bit more, push myself a little bit more, see how far I can push myself before I really get hurt. And by doing this, it's going to allow me to actually activate the legs. Okay. Something I haven't been able to do in a long time, except for obviously the walking. Okay. So that's what we're going to implement here. Let's see. Let's do cardio. We're going to name it cardio, but it's just going to be a cycle. Let's go for a target. Let's go 5 minutes post high resistance cycle. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. Once again, this is all completely based on me. This is personalized to me and specific. You can steal this, you will see results, but the more you personalize it to yourself, I promise you those results are going to come faster than you've ever seen them before. That's why every single person in the lean mass method, every single one of my clients are killing it, making progress every single week, because we work extremely closely with each other. If there's anything that's not working, they let me know. I make those changes. And again, it's completely different, completely based on them. And the secret sauce comes with the nutrition as well in any case. So let's add this in 5 minutes. We're going to repeat this. I'm going to do it for the next, let's do it for 4 weeks. Okay, let's hit it. Monday, Friday, those are my training days. Let's do it for 4 weeks. Awesome. Okay, well, that's loading. That is that, I would say. The other thing that I'm implementing is on my active recovery days. So that's going to be Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm going to be pushing my first meal, my breakfast meal, further back, right? So instead of having it around 12, instead of having it around 10 a.m., I'm going to have it around 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Okay, that's what I'm going to do, because when I'm in that fasted state for longer, the fat in my body is going to be targeted as a fuel source. And again, as long as I have supplements like my electrolytes and my gluten, I just sip on literally electrolyte drink. This is sugar free, so it's really good. This is what I have basically for cool drink. Anytime I crave a little bit of sweet stuff, then I will literally have this. Let's see what we got. So now we've added those in. I don't need to add anything else into any of these. So let us move into the nutrition. This is where the beauty is. Okay, so this is me. Now it's time for some bigger changes to happen. So as we know, the high day is going to be on our training days, because doing this high day with the meal plan, pushing those carbohydrates up, is going to promote muscle gain, because our goal is to drop fat and build muscle. That is why carb cycling is so important. And that is what is going to take you to the next level, along with everything else within the system. Okay, so let's edit this. I'm happy with my breakfast. I love my slices of sourdough in the morning. I am, however, gonna, let's see what we got here. Jasmine rice, I'm dropping to 80 grams. So that almost drops down to, I'm going to drop this down to about 3,500. That's where I'm on my high day. Drop it down to about 3,500. Let's see what else we got here. Cereal. Yeah, I'm going to drop the cereal as well. Let's drop 70. Okay, 3.6. See, as the carb percentage is slowly decreasing, the protein percentage will increase. So let's see what else we're going to change here. Potatoes, I'm happy with. What I'm going to do to simplify my life, I'm going to remove this potatoes, and then I'm going to add the jasmine rice. And then if I feel like I want to do a substitute, I've been enjoying rice this week. I'm probably going to be enjoying rice next week again. For my dinner meals, I've been having pasta. Okay. But when I do that, right, I will take a look at my meal plan. And let's say it's 100 grams of jasmine rice. Okay. Let's say that's what I'm having, raw weight. Then I will literally do the calculation as to how much pasta that is equal to in terms of calories. So let's say 100 grams of rice is 350 calories. Then I want to get the same amount of raw weight of pasta that is going to equal 350 calories. And that is how simple you can literally do the replacement for meals. When you are replacing it, make sure that you are still replacing with a good whole food, because good whole foods, that's where it's at, man. That is where it's at. So now I'm going to add food. I'm going to go back to the jasmine rice. Okay, here we go. Now let's put this at 80 as well. Okay, so that pushes it up slightly. I'm happy with that. Do you want to drop that slightly more? Okay, oats, there we go. Pre-workout meal, I'm going to be dropping just a bit there. Let's take that down to 80. And that's exactly what I want. Okay, peanut butter, I want to drop the fat content as well. Take that maybe to somewhere around 18. Now that will stick at 19. Fantastic. Beautiful. So I'm literally on 3,500 calories. Split carbs is 39%, 42%, and the fats are at 90%. I always like to keep the fats below 20% unless we are moving into an optimal phase. And again, that entirely depends on how each person's body responds to specific foods, to specific macros. Okay, so that is that. We're on 3,500 now. I want to drop this down to about 3,000. So that is going to be, now we're dropping. Let's see what we got here. Okay, jasmine rice, we're going to drop this again to 80. Okay, save changes. Now, let's see what else we got. Whey protein, that's good. Potatoes, once again, we're going to do that as jasmine rice. The reason why I'm doing that is just making it a lot simpler, a lot easier to follow. I'm sitting on 389 grams of protein. So for those of you that are all following this, it's going to be per pound of body weight. Now, the more protein you have, the more muscle you're going to build, and not just that, the less fat you're going to pack on. Okay, so I always have protein super high, and luckily we can get a lot of that from supplementation. So let us go for jasmine. You guys are getting the full behind the scenes here. Okay, I'm going to drop the meat to 40 cooked weight. That is also somewhat high in fats, and I want to get my calories down a bit more. Okay, so let's see. Okay with that. Ooh, should I be digging into those trenches? Okay, let's see, pre-workout meal chicken. There we go. I'm going to remove the olive oil. I don't need that. That's just additional fats. As you can see, the fats have dropped by 18, all the way down to 18%. So this is that extra meal that I want. Now, do I veggies? I'm going to remove this. Okay, it's not going to make much of a difference. Then I'm going to take the chicken to 100 grams. Ooh. Okay, let's do 120. 120, perfect. Now I've got carbs, 30%, protein, 51%, and my fats are again below that 18%. So I'm very, very happy with this. And from there, I'm going to save this. And I'm going to send it to myself. Awesome. So that is the only changes that I'm going to be doing this week, okay? Next week, we should be expecting another weight drop. We should be expecting the visuals to tighten up and sharpen up nicely. But yeah, I hope you guys find value in this. I hope you guys are actually writing the things down, right? Implementing them, because the structure is here, guys. Yes, the specifics might not be personalized to you, but I mean, at least you can start somewhere. Guys, if you need help, send me a DM. We'll hop on a game plan strategy call and we'll set you in the right direction. I hope you guys find value in this. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one. Let's go.